Now, there's been a lot of talk about loyalty. That I owe Nick my entire channel. People have said that. Nick has seemingly danced around that. And
hang on, I'm going to stop her right here. I don't know what she's going to say, but I want to say this because I've heard the same fucking thing. I have heard, and I heard this not actually when I posted my video about why I'm not going to do anything with Walkaway anymore. Overwhelming support. This was actually, and I was actually kind of surprised by this, if I'm honest about it. I was expecting a lot of angry backlash, but I actually got an overwhelming amount of support and respect and thank you for everything you've done, and this is so horrible, and we love you and all that. I got an overwhelming amount of support. There was very, 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 very little negativity. But the negativity that I did get when I publicly said I'm not doing anything with Walkaway anymore was almost entirely to the effect of this. It was, you owe everything you have to Brandon. How could you do this to him? He made you who you are today. And I was like, hold up a second. Now, I'm not going to say that Brandon Strauch did nothing for me, because he did. I learned a lot from Brandon Strauch. I learned a lot from being involved with Walkaway. I learned a lot. However, Brandon Strauch did not build my channel. Brandon Strauch didn't build any of my platforms. I built my channel, and I built my platforms, and I did it by showing up almost every single day for the past 2.5 years. I have posted probably 1,500 videos on this channel in the past 2.5 years, and goodness knows I've taken it down a notch. For as much as people rag on me for Carlin streams for hours on end, I have actually taken it down a notch. I'm posting less content now than I ever have. But I was posting multiple times a day, every day, from February of 2020 until today. There have been very few days that I haven't posted content. There have been very few days that I haven't shown up. And that is why my channel grew. Also, I was lucky enough to be on a bunch of shows, and that grew my channel. But the very idea that Brandon Strauch and Walkaway was responsible for my platform growing is absolute bullshit. And I'll give you an example of why. Because Mike Harlow was involved in Walkaway before me. Mike Harlow, the fame whore himself, who is the reason that I'm no longer doing anything with Walkaway, because I don't understand how in God's name Walkaway can support an absolute fame whore, do nothing, ever asshole like that guy. But if that's what Brandon wants, then fine. Mike Harlow was involved with Walkaway for at least a year before I was. Mike Harlow has done far more Walkaway events than I have. Mike Harlow has 6,000 subs. Maybe he's up to 10,000 now. I don't even know. Mike Harlow has 15,000 followers on Twitter. Mike Harlow has 300 people in his locals community. I don't necessarily think numbers mean everything. I really, really don't. I do not think they mean everything. In fact, like I said, I'm actually targeting a much smaller, more niche audience at this point, simply because I think that that's a better place for me to be in. But if my success was entirely based on Brandon Strauch and Walkaway, then Mike Harlow would be far bigger than I am right now. He would be significantly bigger. So it just makes no sense. So I'm sorry for anyone who's saying that Nick Rekieta made her. I'm not suggesting that he had nothing to do with it, because she's been on his channel, my understanding. quite a bit. I'm sure that Nick was monumentally helpful in building her channel, and it is a blessing when your platforms grow quickly. It is an absolute blessing. It's not a position that everyone's lucky enough to be in. But I really push back on the idea that any single person is a result of anyone else's success, because you can have the most popular people out there behind you, but if you don't show up, your stuff's not going to grow. You have to show up. Like I'm guessing, please correct me if I'm wrong, she's shown up. She's doing stuff on her own. Nick could have her on his channel all he wants, but if she's not showing up on her own, her channel's not going to do anything. And that's just the way it goes.